Right. It's that time, isn't it? It is 12 o'clock where I live. What's going on, Mary? What's going on, Cecilia? Some of us were in Bob the Canadian's chat, and he usually ends at 12, but he must be going a little extra. He's actually outside. I am inside. It's not nice enough for me to be outside. And I worry if I'm outside, I won't be able to read the chat. That's a problem, I think. But welcome, everyone. Eric. Oh, we are punctual. I was maybe a couple seconds late? Couple seconds. I was mostly on time though. Mostly on time. Thank you all for joining. We is here. Sharaf is here. Turn off my volume. I just got an email. I think it's spam though, so I'm not too worried about it. Cecilia's here. Naima's here. Mary. Mr. Brewer, what's going on? I just worry about your first name. Vierschlaf. It's probably wrong. I'm sorry. Today is the last day of the contest for winning the 30 minutes of tutoring, one-on-one tutoring. If that is something that you think will help you with your English learning, sitting down with me for 30 minutes, we will talk about anything you want. Maybe you want me to create some kind of lesson for you. Maybe you're having trouble with phrasal verbs. Maybe you're having trouble with prepositions. Maybe. Hopefully everybody saw the video I made trying to catch my groundhog, and I caught the possum 2 days in a row. And you got to see that. Cecilia, I did not hurt him. He almost hurt me, but I didn't hurt him. So, and I'm also getting a video together on the most common questions that are asked of Americans. One of them is, why are our drinks so big when we go to fast food places? We literally have buckets with little handles on them. I will try to answer that. I don't know. And another one is, why do Americans love drive-thrus so much? I'll answer that one. It's not hard. Drive-thrus are cool. So I will be putting that together. Hopefully I can release it today or tomorrow. But thank you everyone for joining. I hope the weather is nice. I heard in France, Lolly said in Bob the Canadian's chat that it was raining there. It's actually really nice here. A little breezy, but let's get into some of these questions here. What is the slang that means I'm the Rockefeller of outrage? I don't know. Maybe Jamie would know this question better, but usually when we say Rockefeller in the United States, it means someone who is rich, someone who has a lot of money. So if somebody is outraged, they are angry. So maybe it's someone who's angry a lot, the Rockefeller of outrage. I don't know. Maybe. Eric, thank you for your nice comment. The possum hunter. I don't want to be the possum hunter though. I want to be the groundhog transporter. I want to move him away. I don't want to hurt any animals. And I tried to get him out of the cage pretty quickly. It was raining out. You might have noticed the weather was not the best. And I went out to get the possum. Oh, he's gross. But, and Cecilia put in the Facebook page that they don't get rabies often. I guess possums they have slightly cooler blood, so they're not as likely to get rabies. I didn't know that. And one of my viewers, I can't remember who, said that skunks are only native to North America. Bob the Canadian said there were skunks in South America as well. I have to look at that. I don't know. Adoroni, how are you? Yes, Raphael, I can explain how time zones work. I can. Because our country the United States is so wide. We basically want the sun setting at about the same time everywhere, so people have roughly the same type of internal clock. So if the United States was all on the same time zone, some people might be waking up when it's still dark. So they basically, I believe, divided the Earth into 24 different time zones. I think that's how it works. And so the United States, at least the 48 states, we have 4 time zones. But then Alaska has 1 or 2, and Hawaii has another one. So if you're a really large country like Russia, you would have many time zones to try to keep everybody on the same sort of internal clock, same sort of sleeping schedule, going to bed maybe around 9 o'clock if it's early, and waking up at about 6 o'clock, no matter where you live. Uh-oh, somebody said they have friends that are joining the live. I'm nervous now. Hopefully I do a fair enough job. I don't want to suck. Oh, Naima, thank you. Well, if you are, get my chair comfortable here. If you are Naima's friend, welcome. Zubayda's here. Ah, yes, Ibrahim. On Bob's channel, I said on the fly. And it's very similar to what I say often, and that's off the top of my head. So when you're doing something without thinking, you can say off the top of my head or on the fly. And what I said was it's difficult to answer grammar questions on the fly. Sometimes I'm not so good because what we say is a lot different than what is correct when it comes to grammar. So sometimes I have to think. That's why I try to make grammar videos. So if somebody has a question about lay and lie, like they did in Bob the Canadian's chat, I can just say, oh, I did a video on that. And I make less mistakes in the video. And if I'm speaking in the video and I make a mistake, I can always write the text above my head, which I had to do a couple times for lay and lie. So, yes, Naima's friends, how are you? Hey, and if this is your first time here, subscribe. If this is your first time here, you might want to enter that contest for the 1,000 subscribers. We hit 1,000 last week. We hit 1,100 today. So thank you all so much. We is wondering, do my students use Google Drive for their homework? Yes, they do. Google they have these different apps that are great for teachers and students. So I use Google Classroom. There is a Google Classroom for this channel, actually. Some people have participated in that. And I've added a new Quizlet a couple days ago. There's a new Quizlet there. I can put a new quiz on there in a couple weeks. What else? Google Docs. Google Slides, Google everything. Google has everything now, and it really makes teaching online a lot easier. Google Hangouts. Naima, yeah, it's super tough, the grammar thing. She's saying, yeah, it's difficult for Bob the Canadian to answer grammar questions as well. Elena, how are you? Welcome. Raphael, I did not know you were in that live stream. I didn't know you were in that live stream. But I was thinking Raphael would love that because that is older English. So I just added the to the end of words. So Bob was talking about how he and his wife will punish their children by taking away technology, which is the exact same way Jamie and I will punish our children. Oh, you don't want to do that? Phone's mine. Phone's mine. So basically when I say giveth and taketh away, it's like Shakespearean language. But mom and dad give you the phone. We pay for the internet. If you don't do what we say, we taketh away. Taketh away. Oh, no way. Zubaydah. Food? People eat possums? Possums look like big rats. Not quite as ugly. Pretty ugly. And their tail. The tail is the creepiest thing. And I didn't even bait that trap. I talk about what bait means. You can bait a fishing hook to try to get fish. Bait, B-A-I-T. I didn't even have anything in that trap, and he still wandered in. And if you watch the video, he didn't want to get out. I don't know, who was it, Ibrahim, that said maybe it was the coronavirus that kept him in there? Maybe. I'm not sure. Luis. How are you, Luis? Oh, I love it. Taste of your own medicine. Taste of your own medicine. Well, let's see. What could somebody do that's really annoying? Oh, how about this? Not just annoying, but illegal. What if somebody stole a car from a person, and then later they had their car stolen? The stealer had their car stolen. Taste of your own medicine, is doing the bad stuff that you do to others having done to you. And we might say that, you get a little taste of your own medicine, huh? Let's see, what if one of my children, let's say my son, he's a good guy. Let's say my son was bugging my daughter about zits. Teenagers, right? Teenagers get zits, or spots, as they say in England. Spots, you still got your spots. We've talked about that in this live stream. My son is bugging my daughter about her zits. Haha, you have a zit, and the next day he wakes up with a zit of his own. He gets a taste of his own medicine. It's not so fun now, is it? Hope that helped. That's fun to talk about. Sergey. How's the possum doing? I don't know. I don't care. I hope he never comes back. I don't want him dead, but he freaked me out 2 times in the trap. I think it was the same possum. We have a problem with ticks around here. Little animals that will bury themselves in your skin and cause something called a Lyme disease. And I have heard that possums eat the ticks. So I like the possums. I really used to like bats because they eat mosquitoes. What's up with my voice? They eat mosquitoes, but then I heard that the bats cause the coronavirus. But probably the human's fault, right? Probably the human's fault. The bats weren't hurting anybody. I don't know. I don't care how the possum's doing. I don't want him to come back. I want him to come out at night, eat your little bugs, and then go away. Please don't come into my house. Vitaly might get blocked today. I haven't blocked anybody. Jamie has been close. Aroni has been close. Vitaly. But you guys were not in the chat with Bob. Vitaly tried to get me to smoke a cigarette with him. I don't smoke. I said only if it's in his Lada. Then maybe we could have a smoke. But I won't inhale. All right. My chat just messed up. What is the meaning of this? Mary. What is the meaning of this sentence? The fabric of our national consequence. Well, that's pretty difficult, but what if I just talk about the fabric? A consequence is a penalty for your action. If you did something wrong, the consequence could be the punishment. But fabric of our nation is a little bit more difficult, and it's what makes you a nation. So if we said the fabric of the United States, it would be different for everybody, but some may say a big part of the United States, of being American, is the freedom of speech. You should be able to say whatever you want. Some people believe it's the freedom to have guns, and that's a little controversial to some people. But the fabric of your nation, it's like what makes up your clothing, it's what makes up your country. So the really important things that make Americans Americans or Iranians Iranian. And I would imagine with the Iranian people, it's the great history of Persia. What does pay off mean? Tao. Great question. When you pay something off, it could be like a joke. If you're telling a joke for a long time and somebody is waiting for the funny part, that's the payoff. If you're watching a movie, it's the end of the movie that you've been waiting for. And I'm sure in Wee's class, they call it like the climax, the big point of the movie. So the payoff comes at the end. So the person watching the movie for 2 hours, they have spent 2 hours of their time and they want a good payoff. They want a satisfying ending. I hope that helps. Oh, wow. 9 time zones in Russia. That makes sense. Привет. Azat. I didn't realize you were from Ukraine, right? Did I learn that in Bob the Canadian's chat, I think. And what mood am I in? I am in a really good mood. Considering everybody is in their house and a lot of the things that we want to do, we can't do, but I'm healthy, my family's healthy, and it's actually sunny today. And not that chilly, not that cold, not that chilly. We say chilly when it's not cold, but it's not quite warm. And that's a good way you can say about the weather. So many people talk about the weather. You say, it's a little chilly. Not quite cold, but chilly. Cool. Nori, hello. I hope it is nice and hungry today. Mr. Brewer. Time zones. Yes. To make work on time, yes. But time zones are a lot about the sun. So everybody, humans are not by nature nocturnal creatures. We are more comfortable sleeping during the night and waking during the day. So to try to keep everybody on their own time, though, that's interesting. I'm doing a lesson with my students on time travel. And it gets a little bit heavy with the science, but those are pretty fun. Raphael is asking, what is the grammatically correct way to say less mistakes or fewer? I'm almost positive it's fewer mistakes. But what will you hear Americans say? We will say less mistakes. I think I would actually say fewer, but most Americans would say less. Fewer is the correct one. I'm almost 100% sure, though. I don't drink any coffee, I don't drink any coffee. For some reason, coffee puts me to sleep and gives me a headache. I don't know what it is about coffee. This is not coffee. And this is just my Mio. I have it down here. Excuse me. What is the meaning, Mary? Hello, Mary. Again, beat around the bush. Beat around the bush. I don't know why we say beat around the bush. A bush is like a little tree bush. But when you beat around the bush, it means you're not saying exactly what has to be said. Maybe if you're a boss and you have to fire someone, you have to let them go, we say. You have to tell them they no longer work here. You might call that person into the office, but if you really like that person, you might say, oh, how's your family doing? Blah, 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 blah. They are beating around the bush. They should just go fire that person. What is up with my voice today? Fire that person. Beating around the bush. You might hear, if someone is beating around the bush, get to the point. Get to the point. Tell me what you need to tell me. Mary, I hope that helps. Mirani, how are you? I'm trying to say that correctly, your name. Mirani. Mirani. Oh, nice. Raphael doesn't comment. I like Bob the Canadian's streams because it tries to show me, he's a master at it. He's been doing it for 3 years. He's very good. I'm trying to get better. Oh, Elena, that's not for me, right? It looks like you're talking with someone else, which is awesome. Andre, how are you? Holding back on someone. It means you're not being completely honest. Holding back on someone. You're not telling them the complete truth. Oh, Ibrahim, I might have just anticipated your question. Yeah, I think Bob, he's the reason that Aroni. So I had a podcast, and then Aroni was talking about Bob the Canadian. It's like, who's this Bob the Canadian? I have to check him out. I might have started the YouTube channel by then, but I looked and thought he does a great job. So I don't want to do the same thing that he does. I think we're kind of different people. He's much more, proper, and I probably crack more jokes. I probably am a little bit more loose than he is. He's very good, but I mess up a lot, and I'm like, whatever, I'll mess up. I don't mind. I don't know if Bob the Canadian would make a video where he's like trying to like get some possum out of a cage, but I don't care. I think it's funny. So we're, a little different, but he's very good at what he does. He's a teacher about my age, so. Uh-oh, Elena. Was that a question, that long phrase there? Thanks. She would be better off on her promise, but she didn't. Don't give up. Is that a question? Or, okay. Despite the fact, let me clean this up. Okay, I will copy and paste. Neither of them sound exactly natural, to be honest. Let's see here. Despite the fact she backed off on her promise. It seems like despite the fact, put a comma here, despite the fact she backed off her promise, but okay, Elena, I just rewrote one of them, and I think that sounds pretty good to me. Mary is giving an emoji where she is laughing on the side of her face. I hope that's a good thing. I am a little bit lost on my chat here. I can't handle my chat. Eleanor, I don't know. That's a good question. Are there any dictionaries where you can find phrasal verbs? So I know when I make a phrasal verb video, I have a playlist of about 10 of them. I realize they're very difficult. I will always search up. And I believe there are some online dictionaries that have lists of phrasal verbs. Because if I do phrasal verbs with blow, I try to group them. I don't want to miss any important ones. So there are some websites that are very good about listing them. So yes, I would think that there are. Yeah, just do a Google search or whatever search engine you like. You should be able to find some. But I think it's always helpful when you have a native speaker explaining them on camera. So I will continue to do phrasal verb videos, but we is curious about fish. Jamie and I, we don't eat fish very often. We sometimes eat a fish called haddock, which is a nice white meat, and it's not too fishy. It doesn't taste too much like fish. We might use that adjective. And you would think like fish, you want to taste fishy. But Jamie and I don't like fishy tasting fish. Haddock is a good fish that we like. Nori. I thought for sure my son left a little wiffle ball there. I'm like, I'm going to throw this ball. He'll see it and chase it right out of the cage. Nope. He didn't budge. He didn't move. I think that came up. I think that word came up in the chat a couple times. Budge. I know it has. Budge. He didn't even move out of that cage. He didn't even look at that ball one bit. He's like, I'm just staying here. I think he was using his claws to hang on to the wires in the cage. I won't figure that out. Never figure that out. Eric, you don't eat bats, so no risk to COVID. It's good. It's good. I don't eat bats. Oh. Sharef is saying that he's read this book, and those two words don't usually go together. But I can explain what I think they mean. So the first one, doodling, it's pretty simple. It's just kind of drawing without any thought, just making little pictures. Some people will, while they're on the phone with someone, they might like make little doodles, just little nonsense drawings. That's what doodles are. And then swaggering, though. Swaggering is like when somebody walks into the room, their chest is all puffed out, like, hey, what's up? They think they're a big deal. They think they're a big shot. If somebody has a swagger to their walk, you know, their arms might be swinging extra wide, like, hey, look at me, look at me. That's what swagger is. He's wondering, these are very close words right here. Human, I'm sure most people know human, right? People, human, and then humor. No, I pronounced that too. Human and humor. Human and humor. We are all humans, I think, for the most part. Some of you make me wonder, a little crazy. But most of us are humans. And if you find something funny, you will think it is humorous. Humorous is the adjective form of humor. All right. This looks like Jamie is answering some questions. Eric, I was Googling Lada, and I saw that the French company, I cannot say that, I don't think. Renault. I know the T is silent. Renault bought out Lada. And the new Ladas, don't look anything like the old ones. I looked on Soviet cars for sale in the US. I think that's the website. I want a Lada. They're about $10,000. Jamie, I can get a Lada, right? Not too bad. 10 grand for a car? A Lada always works, doesn't it? Vitali, Lada always works. All right. 31 views. No, Vitali, I didn't get what you said. No. Let me read it here. Vitali was trying to get me to smoke in his Lada, and I said no. All right, you didn't get what I said, no. In the Army, you will get almost a whole pack of cigarettes. 19. Do you have a cig? Let's smoke. All right. So you weren't asking me to smoke. I'm just going to pretend that you were asking me to smoke. Is that okay, Vitali? Is that okay? I still don't get it, I don't think. So, do they give you cigarettes in the Russian army now? They used to do that in the American army. But I think the cigarette companies would donate cigarettes to the soldiers, get them addicted, so when they got out of the army, they would continue to buy them. Ugh, nasty. Nasty. Thank you, Nori. Meant. Just for the record, Vitali does not smoke. I kind of figured you didn't. Okay, so Jamie is answering some questions. Wait. Vitali, Aroni is saying that you deserve a timeout. A man called Ovi, Mary is recommending. A man called Ovi. Thank you for that recommendation. All right. Did I say less mistakes in the live stream? I'm sorry. Sleepwalker, how are you? From Russia. How dare you? We is wondering, how dare you? We often say that when we can't believe somebody dared to do something. Maybe somebody calls you a name, or somebody accuses you of smoking and you don't smoke. Vitali could say to me, how dare you? I don't smoke. And then, how could you? That means somebody did something that you can't believe. Like maybe somebody cheated on their boyfriend. The girlfriend could say, oh, how could you? I'm breaking up with you. How could you? Awful. Jamie is answering questions. So I worry sometimes if Jamie already answered the question and then you're listening to me talk, you're like, okay, Jamie answered it already. You're behind in your chat. A new viewer, I see, possibly. And my Batuan. Anik, how are you? Welcome. Cecilia, that's very nice of you. I worry. Oh, Zabeda. I see a question here. This is an easy one for me to answer because they are the same. Right here. If you pay somebody a compliment and you give them a compliment, means the same thing. And I know that we often say pay with money. Not this case. You pay them with a compliment. You give them something nice. Same thing. Nice. English with Brent. Nori is making a notebook with English with Brent. I like it. I'm thinking, I like the idea of learn American English with this guy, but it is a bit long. And I'm wondering if I should just change it to English with Brent or something like that. I don't know. Condition, Sergey. How are you? Sergey. How are you? Condition. Yeah, you probably could, right? So he's wondering if you. Okay, so he is exactly right. Sergey is exactly right. A condition, it means you have a problem. So you might go to your doctor because you have a condition. You don't know exactly what it is, but you know it's bad. So if you say, I have a grammar condition, it's not something we would commonly say, but people might know what you're talking about. It would be like a joke. Yes, you could say that. We's doing push-ups every day. I need to do push-ups too. Push-ups. Push-ups. It's I don't know about you guys, but the quarantine is just an excuse to sit around and eat, make YouTube videos, and learn Italian for me. But I can see that my energy level has gone down a little bit, especially when the weather is bad. I hope the same is not for you. Same cannot be said for you. Oh, oh, he's not. He's not an English teacher. Bob the Canadian. I thought he was an English teacher, but I stand corrected. Thank you, Cecilia. Oh, Ibrahim. That's very nice of you. I could not ever be too serious. Could never. Life is too short to be too serious. Thank you, Ibrahim. That makes me feel good. We is talking about fried fish. That's Jamie and I like to grill the haddock. We've done it a couple times. We probably should. Haddock. Let's see. How do you spell haddock? And that's one thing I think if you're learning English, it would probably be a waste of your time to learn all of the types of fish we talk about, like haddock and cod and trout and salmon. But if you just know the word fish, it might be helpful. 390 phrasal verbs. I'm scared. Yeah, I think there might be more actually. But I try not to use too many phrasal verbs when I speak on this channel because I know it can be very confusing. Oh wait, I've learnt? Naima, I'm not sure what you're talking about there because there are a couple phrases. I've learnt. Sorry. I've learnt. Let's try. Let's try a shot. And he didn't understand. He said it was outdated. Okay. So if you say, let's try a shot. If you say, let's try a shot in the United States, people would think you were talking about little drinks of alcohol. Okay? So let's try a shot. But let's change like one word there. I didn't put a period at the end. Let's give it a shot. What did I just write? Let's try a shot. Let's give it a shot. If you say let's give it a shot, that means let's try it. And that's not outdated. We say that quite a bit. If you want to try something, let's give it a shot. It's not outdated. If that's what you said. Amir, how are you? Yes. Well, Amir, it would, to do a Zoom. I don't have the technology, but it would be unique. Now, I worry about, I will be chatting with two people for a half an hour, and I am hesitant to record the conversation because I don't want to I want it to be natural. I just want to talk. Khalifi, when we spoke this week, at the end, he was like, I should have recorded it. So he actually wanted the two of us to chat, and he was going to record it. So that might be kind of nice. Maybe Khalifi and I can speak again, or if somebody knows how to record a Zoom We could possibly do that. But I'm not that good with technology. I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer. Whoa. So, Jamie, if I'm reading this correctly, she said, we are teachers. We can definitely get a car. That's what I read. And I'm pretty good at working on cars. So, all right. Lime green is the color I would like. The first thing I'll do when I'm done with this chat is look up ladas locally, local ladas. I did read on a website that it was illegal to buy a Soviet car in the US, which I don't think is true. I think if I wanted a Lada, I could get a Lada. All right. No. You will share 19 cigarettes and then smoke the last one with someone. All right, Vitaly. You will share 19 cigarettes and then smoke the last on your own, maybe? Because if you're sharing, you're smoking with someone. Sorry, Vitaly. Maybe make a video. Make a video and put it on Facebook. Please, please. Your first video was great. Oh, yeah, Mary. Smoking. Don't smoke. Don't smoke. Right? That'll be my little message to everyone. Don't smoke. A lotta. Yes. A lotta, right? All right, how am I doing? I'm doing all right, I think. I'm not too far behind. Yes, Zabeda. Good question right here. Yeah, does just for the record mean FYI? Close. FYI, it literally means for your information. For your information. That's what it literally means. But it's very close to just for the record. Those are often, you could use either one. Like you want to make your point, like just for the record, I want to show that I do not smoke. And for your information, I don't smoke. Just for the record. So they're used very, very closely together. All right. Oh, missed on the fly. Beat around the bush. It's chilly. And the good thing is you can always watch on replay. These will be available. All of the videos are available, I think maybe a half an hour after we finish here. And then you can also put the subtitles on maybe an hour or two later. So that's really good. How dare you? What? And why do I always have to think about Mariani? How dare you? I'm not sure who she said that to. I hope it wasn't me. Serge said Ladas. If I'm reading this correctly, he said they're the best cars. Did I read that correctly when I copy and pasted? Oh, just text, okay? Yeah, so Matteo, welcome. Matteo, how are you? In Italy. Making that pizza dough, are you? Yeah, when you just see K, like I copy and pasted there, K, it just stands for okay. And I did a question tag video. Cecilia, thank you for suggesting that. And I didn't mention okay because it's not officially a question tag, but so this is something Jamie and I might say to each other if we're watching TV. We might say to each other, I'm going to change the channel, okay? So that's kind of a question tag. And it just means that I'm pretty sure she doesn't mind if I change the channel. I just want to make sure. Maybe whatever we were watching is kind of boring. So before I just go ahead and flip the channel, I'm going to change the channel, okay? If I wasn't so sure about it, I might say, Do you mind if I change the channel? It's more of a question that way. When we put those little question tags on the end, like the K, just the K, it means we're pretty sure you're going to say yes anyway, but just maybe. Okay? Okay? Hope that helps. I'm poor enough. I'm poor enough to drive a Lada. All right. But yeah, Lada. Yeah, but Jamie brings up a good point. I can't work on car Ladas though. Aren't they pretty easy to fix? I think if I watch a YouTube video on Ladas, I could fix it. Just get some tape, tape it together, tape the door together. We should be fine. We should be fine. Ah, Aroni is answering. See, that word is abbreviation. So it's almost the same. Italian and English, we share a lot of the same words. Sir. English with Brent is great. Thank you, Natalie. Hey, are you new here? Welcome. Don't forget, hit subscribe. We do this every day during quarantine. We will go for at least an hour answering questions. Oh, Naima, writing down what you hear? Oh no, there's a lot of pressure. I need to get everything right now. What if I mess up? Lucian, welcome. How are you? Yeah, Cecilia, and you work out a lot. And Cecilia says that she has low energy. And some days, last night, it was a little disappointing. We went as a family to get ice cream. I wasn't going to have any ice cream, and my wife wasn't going to get any ice cream. But we went to an ice cream stand outside. Their hours said they were going to be open until 9:30, but we think they closed at 8. So that was a little disappointing. And then we went to the supermarket or the grocery store that came up in Bob the Canadian's chat. And that was closed too, pretty early at night. So, those are small things, little disappointments. My family is all safe. We're all healthy. My mom, who's in her 70s, is safe and healthy. Jamie's mom, who is older as well, safe and healthy. So those are the things that I remind myself of. Okay, everybody that I know so far and care about, they are all safe. We'll get our ice cream later. But it's little disappointments like that. Plans you might have had for the summer might not be happening. Teo, don't feel stupid. It's all good. Yeah, Zabeda brings up a great point. And some of Bob the Canadian's videos, he acts out the phrasal verbs. So those might help too. Check out his channel. Oh, Aroni might be talking about me. So what I'm doing is I'm right now studying 3 languages. But that can be a little deceiving. It's not really true. I'm really studying Italian right now. I spend most of my time on Italian. But sometimes I'll study French for a little bit, and even less Russian. But a lot of times when I study Russian for maybe 15 minutes, I go back to the Italian and I realize Italian is so much easier. So I think I'm using the other 2 languages to help me study my main focus, which is Italian. So I might spend an hour or 2 on Italian. I might spend a half an hour on French and 10 or 15 minutes on Russian. It's really, really tough. Boomers can learn too. I'm going to copy and paste that, Zabeda. Boomers, it takes us a little longer, but we can learn too. Boomers can learn. That'll be my motto for today. Boomers can learn. I don't know if Jamie is still here. Mary is asking about shots of B12 every month. No, Americans, not all Americans get shots of B12. I don't. My family doesn't. But sometimes in the winter, I think, when people aren't getting enough sunshine, they say they get a shot of B12 and it gives them some energy. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Nikita. And these are Russians that are saying don't buy the cars. Maybe I'll rethink my Lada. Right now, Jamie and I have two Toyotas. I have one and she has one, and they both work really well. But a Lada would be nice. A Lada. Maybe for my 50th birthday in 5 years, I will buy a Lada. Yes. Eleanor, talk about breakdowns. Yeah, breakdown. We say that in English sometimes. Breakdown. You're really, really, really sad. A breakdown. And it might actually be so bad that you would need to go to the hospital. Breakdowns. I mean, if you have an emotional breakdown, maybe it's just you cry for 5-10 minutes really hard and get it all out. But yeah, breakdown. Breakdown has so many different. It has so many different words, ways to use it. I know if I got a Lada, it would never break down, meaning it would never get broken. It would always run. Every time I turn the crank, it would not break down. So that's why English can be so difficult. You have breakdown used two very different ways. Yes, Lucian is wondering, what does go with the flow mean? So if you think of a river, it flows one way. All of the water pushes one way. If you're on a boat or a raft, just kind of floating, you're just going with the flow. It means you are not trying to cause trouble. You are just agreeing to everything. And sometimes going with the flow can really help. If there is a project to be done and someone has taken charge and you agree with everything, you could just go with the flow. But if you feel that it could be done in a better way, you might speak up and try to change plans. That would not be going with the flow. So going with the flow can be a good thing sometimes not. Going with the flow. Mikel, Mr. Silva, welcome. It was just a joke. How dare you? I thought it was a joke. I was trying to be funny too. I was trying to do a joke on your joke. Mirani. Might take me a week to get your name pronounced correctly because I'm a boomer. But, as Mary said, boomers can learn too. So I'm trying to make sure that I get that correct. Your name. Zobeda. Excellent point. When we talk about question tags, is 100% a Canadian question tag that is not said in the United States. In fact, my sister-in-law is Canadian. She's from what Bob the Canadian is saying, about 5-hour drive west of where Bob the Canadian lives. Maybe 4. But my brother, her husband, will often make fun of her by saying, after everything. And that is their way to say okay. Canadians might also say okay, but Americans do not say Nice job, Sabeda. Tape and WD-40. Vitaly is saying, I think that will help my Lada run. Maybe some chewing gum. I can stick some chewing gum in certain places to keep it from breaking down. I like it. Yeah, Nori. So that's like the one good thing about the quarantine is that we can get together in this way. But once the quarantine ends, I mean, I will do them throughout the summer, maybe not every day, but through the summer, I will have some time. And then once my school starts back up, I will still try to find 2 or 3 days a week to go live for an hour. I will try to do that. I wanna. Somebody's I might have missed some things. I'm sorry. And Vitali, is he speaking? Looks like looks like Spanish, but it is kind of close to Italian. Oh, Nori, I missed some things. I'm sorry. Okay, so Nori is saying, oh, I think I kind of answered that. Yeah, once or twice a month. Yeah, I would like to do it once or twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week, maybe, if possible. Still, but are these homophones? No. Brent and Brant. They're a little bit different. Brent and Brant. To be honest, though, when I straight up, we say that sometimes. That was in one of my videos. To be honest, or straight up, when you tell someone the truth, or it's a little emphasis there. Straight up. When I am in the South, I am called Brant. Brant. One of my friends, my northern friends, when he went down for our wedding, and he met one of my southern friends, he likes to tell this story. But when he went down there, he introduced himself, the southern friend. He said, "Hi, I'm David, friend of Brant's. Friend of Brant's." I don't know if Jamie's still watching, but that he loves to tell that story, friend of Brant's. Oh, Mary doesn't know why, but she likes German. German. For English speakers, for this might be interesting for some people because vice versa might be the same for you. So there's, I think it's the military, the English military, the American military. They have a rating for foreign languages on how difficult they are to learn for English speakers. And it usually means that the language is pretty close to English. So for English speakers to learn phase one or category one languages, they say it takes about a year of really hard study. Like it's your full time job, 8 to 10 hours a day will take you a year. So here are the phase one languages: French, Italian, Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese. There might be a few others, but Afrikaans, it's another German language, Germanic language. But German is a phase two language. So it's harder for English speakers to learn German. And then it gets more difficult from there until you're getting into, I think Russian is a phase three and Ukrainian is a phase three. And then when we talk about phase four or category four, it would be Arabic, it's Korean, Chinese, Persian is probably a four. So that just shows you if it's a category four for us, then it's going to be much harder for you to learn. So don't feel badly if you have a friend that already speaks French, but you speak Arabic and you're wondering, how are they learning so much more quickly than I am? And I know people in Morocco, because I was talking with Khalifi, a lot of people in Morocco know French and Arabic, and the French might help them learn English because Arabic alone, it would be more difficult. But if you know a Latin language, Romance language, it is a little easier. So German scares me. In the US, if you work in open space with colleagues, 100% The smoking, for sure. He's asking, will they ask you not to put on perfume and not to smoke? 100%. So at my school, I don't think we have any teachers that smoke, but they cannot smoke in the building. And I believe they have to go out to the road to smoke. They can't smoke on school property. The perfume would be a difficult conversation, but a lot of people are told do not wear perfume. That's what women wear in the United States. And we call it cologne if a man wears it. A lot of people are told not to wear perfumes or colognes because people are allergic. Jamie already answered it. She's back. All right, I am going to skip down just because. Okay, thanking you. Try not to miss any questions here. Yeah, I would think Arabic. Arabic might be even more difficult than Chinese or Korean because at least you're reading left to right, and Arabic is the right to left. Hungarian is, think a category 4. I'm almost sure. It might be harder for us to learn than Russian. Don't quote me. Hungarian is notoriously tough. Notori. Notoriously. That's a good word to use because it's famous for a bad reason. So notoriously tough to learn Hungarian for us English speakers. Absolutely. Polish, very difficult. If I skipped your question, I am sorry. Looking for another question here. Naima is also saying that the French is helping her with English. Oh, Hindi. Larissa. Can you imagine Hindi, Thai, and Chinese and some others might be difficult because they use tones. And most of our languages, Latin, Slavic languages, Germanic, we don't have tones. We don't have true tones. We do sometimes inflect our voice to be polite, to ask a question, but we don't have true tones. I believe Thai has 7 tones. Not sure. 7 tones, maybe? Yes. Vitali's talking about Finnish. Yeah, I had some friends from Denmark and Sweden, and I just assumed, Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, Finnish, they're all pretty similar. No, Finnish and Estonian are somewhat related, but they are notoriously difficult as well. Yeah, Finnish. Yeah, what's the term? I don't think it's a gluten language where you add little bits at the end. I believe German is, isn't it? They add lots of word parts. I can't remember what we call it in English. A gluten, something with adding on parts. But Polish is easy. For who? I wonder. And I talked about this Echo Linguist, I believe is his channel name. Echo Linguist. I've mentioned him before, and I could be wrong. I don't know how to spell it. Echo Linguist. It starts with echo like earth. And he will get together different Slavic speakers, Polish, Czech, Russian maybe. He's actually Polish. And they see how easy it is to understand each other. He just did one with Italian and Spanish and Portuguese, and French was in there, Catalan was in there. So, Urdu. I would love to learn Urdu. They speak Urdu in Pakistan, isn't it? Vitali. Yeah, ain't German. Oh, Lisa. Hello from Hungary. Remind you, if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe. Ring the bell. We will do this again tomorrow, maybe about this time. Sometimes the weather depends on when I go live. If my family and I can get out for a walk and enjoy the sunshine. It has been really rainy here lately, but it is nice today. So I might try to get some more yard work done. My trap is set for the groundhog, but there are some kids playing out. My neighbor's grandchildren. My neighbor's grandchildren are out playing, so I will not get the groundhog today. I know that. Groundhog is scared of the children. I don't blame him. French is easier than Dutch. Is that true? Dutch. I would think for English speakers, Dutch wouldn't be so bad because English is a Germanic language, technically. But I find it very similar to Romance languages. And we've talked about the French invading England, 1066. So there's a lot of Latin-based language in English. So I do. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for subscribing. I'll remind you about the contest. Today is the last day for the contest. We hit 1,000 subscribers last week, so I'm giving away 2 30-minute sessions, tutoring sessions, conversation sessions, just me and you, 30 minutes. Unless you want to bring a friend, we can do that too. But thank you guys so much. Oh, Mary has to go. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. In Iran, I'm sure it's pretty late. We have a little bit of a day left here. It's only 1:07 here, so not so bad. But thank you all. We will do this again tomorrow. If I have a little time, I think I did it yesterday. I went live for another 40 minutes later on in the day. Might be kind of late for you in Europe, but thank you so much for joining. I'm going to click off here in just a second. It's a good time as always. Thank you for tuning in, and we will do this again very soon. See you later.